I'll take that down. Hello, so as you can see, this is my first YouTube video. I will apologise for the sound. I don't have a microphone yet. If this all goes well and I continue doing it, I will obviously buy more equipment. But for now, hopefully this will do. That's in the way. So, as I said over on Instagram, if you follow me on there, which I'm sure anyone watching this is, unless you're not, then hello, welcome. My name is Ella, I am 23 and I have an online Etsy store. I'm a freelance graphic designer, and today I thought I would film kind of like an Etsy tutorial, how to start up on Etsy and how to generate sales. I will start off by saying that I am not an expert. There are going to be so many people out there with hundreds and thousands more sales than I have, but when I first started out I always looked to other people and other YouTube videos to help me start up on Etsy. I personally, when I wanted to start, didn't look at other people's sales and how well they'd actually done. It was more just, if they know more than me, I want to learn from them. So that's really what I'm doing today. I'm not claiming to be an expert with thousands and thousands of sales, but to the people that are just starting out or thinking about it, I have more sales than them and I just want to help some people. So if you have an Etsy store and you're struggling to generate sales, or if you're thinking about starting one and you're not really sure how, keep watching. Also, I can say this now, like, comment and subscribe, because hopefully if people like this one I'll be doing more. And if you have any videos that you want to see, leave a comment, or you can send me a DM on Instagram, which I'll leave below. So starting up on Etsy can be really daunting. I started in 2018 but didn't really take it seriously until summer 2019, just gone. The first thing that you need to do without question is come up with a shop name and get your branding sorted out. They're the two most important things when you're starting out, because it's the first thing Etsy asks you for. So take some time to think of some names that you might like to call your shop, whether that's your name or like a store name you've come up with, and also have a research by what's around already. If you want to call your shop something and you have a look and see that someone else has already used that, try and go for something that no one else has used, because you want to stand out. So yeah, the branding and the store name is something that you should take some time to do. Find a name that you're happy with and just go for it really. Along with your shop and branding, the next thing you need to do is, what products are you going to sell? It obviously needs to be something that you're passionate about. If you are not passionate about the things that you're selling, you're not going to be pushing yourself to sell them. People are going to be able to see how passionate you are about your shop, and if they see that you're loving something and that you are really proud of something that you've made, people are going to be interested in it and they're more likely to buy it. People go onto Etsy knowing that everything is handmade and unique, so they're not going to find it anywhere else. If you don't love the product you're selling, how is anyone else going to? Find what you're going to sell, be confident about them, and then you're already halfway there to having a successful shop. So when you're starting up on Etsy, you'll have to fill out the whole form of what is your shop name, what are you selling, etc, etc. You will then also have to fill out your pricing. Pricing your products on Etsy is something you do need to take the time and research on, because obviously being a selling platform, like a lot of places, they do have a fee. Etsy takes 5% of every sale that you make, and then they also charge listing fees for your listings to be up on Etsy. So take into consideration the fees from Etsy, and also take into consideration how much time you have spent on the products or how much money you have spent buying the products in the first place. Everyone on Etsy does it because they love it, but you do have to put money in the first place, whether you're an artist and you're buying the supplies like the paper and the pencils and the paintbrushes and the paint, or whether you're designing products, you are putting the money in to buy the products in the first place. You're putting money in, you do want to have some kind of profit back, whether you're going to use that profit to spend on yourself or whether you're going to reinvest it. Have a look on Etsy at other people's prices and have a look at the most expensive ones and the cheapest ones and find your range. Where do you think your products fit? And don't doubt yourself either. Don't think, oh, they're not worth anything. They are, because you've put your time and effort into that and your money. So find your range, take into consideration the fees on Etsy, and just make sure that you're getting the money that you and your product is worth. The one main thing that you will be filling out on Etsy is your shop page and the About You page. So you will have a shop page. This is where all of your customers will go to view your products, and here you can fill out things like the FAQ, so any frequently asked questions that you have had in the past or that you feel you might get in the future, you can fill out all of your FAQs. This saves customers a lot of time in messaging you, and it saves your time in replying to repetitive questions, which makes people more likely to buy from your shop because they don't have to message you and wait for a response. If they want to know if you ship worldwide, for example, they can just go on the FAQs. Do I ship worldwide? Yes, and then they know that it's going to get to them perfectly fine and they'll order it. So filling out FAQs is a really good idea, as well as filling out the About page on your profile. Although they're looking at your shop page, they can also see who owns the shop in the top right corner. People are more likely to buy from someone that they know is real and legit. So getting a profile picture on your profile page and just talking a little bit more about yourself will really help. And you can also do this on your shop page as well. Tell people about your journey. They want to know when you started, how long you've been doing it for, why you sell the things that you sell. If you give people a story about you and your shop, people are going to feel more connected to it, and they're more likely to come back to you again because they know who you are. So those are the main things on starting up on Etsy. I could go on forever, I can always do a part 2, but I feel like starting on Etsy is probably a lot easier than generating sales. Get them steps done. Once your shop is actually set up and you're happy with everything that you filled out, fill out the About page, the FAQs, all of your pricing, and put your products up. Everything else is about generating sales and getting everyone to visit your store, which is what we can go on to now. Your Etsy page is set up, you have your branding and your logos, you filled out all the FAQs, the About Me's, and you know what you're actually selling. The first step is to really invest in your photography. When shopping online, the main con is that you can't actually touch or physically see what you're buying. So your photography is really important. So you need to provide as many pictures as possible for your audience. So get yourself some good photography for your products, whether that is hiring someone else to take pictures for you or asking a friend who might be good at it, or you can just do it yourself, whether you have a camera or just your phone. I personally use a mix of cameras and phones depending whether it's for my Instagram or for my Etsy shop, but you don't need all this high-tech equipment. I am living proof that you don't need that because I don't have a microphone and I'm filming a YouTube video. So when you're first starting out, it is fine to just use your phone. Phones have amazing cameras these days anyway. Another great thing to do is get some props. If you're selling art prints, when you're taking a picture of them, put some of the pencils or the paintbrushes that you used in the photo, make them look a bit more interesting. Obviously there's a lot of competition on Etsy, so you want to stand out, so it's important that you're making your pictures look interesting and eye-catching. Use a lot of colours. But yeah, photography is the one thing people are going to see first before they even see any of your description. Make your photography good, spend some time on it and enjoy it, because it is quite enjoyable when you get going. You start to get into the flow of things and you get more creative as you go on. Leading on from photography, you are not only going to put that on Etsy, you also need to be putting it on social media. Now there's loads of different platforms which you all know. Facebook and Instagram, I'd say, are the main two that I use. Instagram definitely is a main for me, mainly because it's very visual and I feel like the community over there is just a lot better. Everyone's really friendly and supportive. Social media was a big one for me because I didn't want to put any of my products out into the world, because that's when friends and family see it and that's when you get judged or whatever. So you need to really overcome that barrier of, what are they going to think of me? Are they going to think it's weird? It doesn't matter. If you're enjoying it and it's something that you want to do, who cares about what anyone else thinks? At the end of the day, you're doing something that you love, and no one should really be saying anything negative anyway, because you're owning your own shop. What is there bad to talk about? It's a good thing that you're doing, and you'll probably be surprised. When I started, I was really scared that all my friends or just people that I know would think, what is she doing? But it was actually the complete opposite. I had messages from people saying that it's really good and they want to do the same, and you end up getting into this creative community and it's just really nice and everyone uplifts each other. So social media is a really good place to be. And obviously also that is where a lot of your target audience is going to be as well. So with your photography, take that over to your social media and really start selling your products there. It's important that you come across as a person too. Don't just be like robotic, posting pictures to sell every day. As I said earlier on, people want to know who they're buying from and that you're trusting and a nice person. So get yourself out there on social media, meet other people, show the products that you sell, and just really have fun with it. Pinterest is another amazing one as well. I love Pinterest. I'm always creating boards for like home decor and things like that, and it is just a really great place to put your products as well, because people at the end of the day are going on there to find new things and inspiration. Just get your products out into the world. Get over that fear of what will other people think of me. It doesn't matter, and you'll probably be really surprised that everyone will find it really cool that you're doing that. All my friends and family have been supportive, which isn't anything that I doubted. It was just that, what about other people that I'm friends with on Facebook that don't really know me fully? Will they think it's strange? Or people that follow me on Instagram, will they talk about me? But now I really don't care. Yeah, get over that barrier of what other people think. Get out there, enjoy it, show your products off, and just have fun with it. So going back to Etsy rather than social media, your shop is set up, you've got your social media running. Let's assume you are now listing your product. There's a few very important things to do in this stage. It is tedious and it's never something that you kind of do and just leave. So there's three main things that I like to kind of do when I'm listing my products, and that is the title. Well, you have to do them all, but something that you should really take your time on, the description, and your tags. I say tags like that because I end up talking about them for ages, because they are something that I always go back to. So starting with the title, it is really the first or second thing that people are going to see, the first being the actual pictures, and then they're going to look at the title. So here's where it gets a bit long and it takes a while, but you need to find a title that works for your product, something that stands out and is also including keywords. You will notice that the title lets you add quite a lot into it, and that is for a reason. Make the most out of your titles. Use keywords in which you think people will be searching, and obviously you can change this as you go, but have a look at what other people have put in their titles. If you're selling an art print, have a look at other people's art prints and what have they put in their titles, how far up are they on the rankings. Look at people that are in the top page. Who are some of the first listings that you see? What have they got in their titles? What keywords are they using that you could be bringing over to your listing as well? So have a play around with it. As I said, you can add quite a lot into your titles, so why not optimise that and actually use all of them, and then you can start to shorten them down, have a play around, see what works. The next is your description. As I've said before about the keywords, the main things here are the keywords that people are going to be searching. Obviously you need to describe your product well, say how big it is, what it's made out of. You can also give backstories as to why you created that. But yeah, keywords are a main thing. That is what Etsy uses to boost you up the rankings. The main thing you want to have is be on the first page of Etsy. When you're starting out, obviously you don't know what keywords people are going to be using. A great way to see is if you go onto the search bar and type in art print, and then see all the suggestions underneath are what a lot of people have been searching. So if any of them relate to your product, you can include them in your description. Obviously make it make sense. Don't just shove in a load of random words. And then you have the tags, which I love and hate. I think you get around 13 tags that you can use on Etsy on each listing. They are very similar to Instagram. If you use hashtags on Instagram, it's basically the same thing. It's what Etsy is going to be using to categorise your product and put it on the pages on Etsy. But as I said, you want to be on one of the top pages. You want to be seen before anyone else. So for each listing that you are going to be putting up on Etsy, write a list of some of the keywords that you would be searching. Another tip, if you go on to an art print listing, for example, that's quite high, have a look at what the first listing is. Obviously ignore the ads because they've paid to be there. So look at the first organic listing that is there, and if you click on that and scroll all the way to the bottom, you will see a load of little boxes. The first 3 boxes, or maybe 4 depending how deep in they've gone, are the categories that they have put their product. The rest are the tags that they have used. Now, I'm not saying to copy them, but you can take into consideration what they are using and have a look at the next listing. What tags have they used? What ones are the same? Through looking at other people's listings and their tags, you can start to define which ones you're going to be picking and choosing to put into your own listings. And then as time goes on, you can start to change them, and if you feel like you're getting more sales, obviously the tags have started to work. I will say that Etsy takes around 2 weeks to actually realise the changes that you've made and put them into place. So don't expect change straight away, leave it. What I do is once a month at the beginning or at the end of every month, I go back into all of my Etsy listings, have a look at my sales and think, okay, what ones have been doing well, which ones are a bit quieter, and have a play around with the tags, even just change the description. I find that as I go on, I get a bit more creative with the descriptions, and same with the tags. The longer you've been doing it for, the more you start to find out which tags work for you and which ones aren't. And keep checking that first page, because when you get on that first page, that is when things will start to change for you. You will start to notice more views on your listing and even more sales. Not all of your sales are going to be coming through on Etsy, because hopefully you are also on social media as well, so you need to be pushing that. But Etsy is the platform that you're on, so that's the main thing that you need to be pushing yourself on. So hopefully that tag tip helps. I can do another video separately, completely on listing a product if you want, if that's something you'd like to see. I can list a new product and talk you through the whole title, description and the whole page. If that will be useful, let me know. But yeah, the tag tip I feel like helps a lot of people, because you can see what other people are doing. Like on Instagram, you can see what other hashtags people have been using, and you can do the same on Etsy. It's just not as obvious, I don't feel. With all of that, you can also get the Sell on Etsy app. If you don't have this, after this video, go and get it. It's free and it just allows you to look at all of your stats and the back end of Etsy on the go. A great thing to do with your tags is to look at your stats and see what people have been searching to find your product, and then you can implement them into your tags. But when you're first starting out, you're not going to have many stats to go off of, because no one has seen your products yet. But as you go, you can start to look at the stats and see what people have been searching and put them keywords into your description and your title and your tags, and you should start to see an increase in views and favourites and maybe even sales. It does take time. You're not going to put your first listing up and get a sale straight away. It's just not something that happens unless you're extremely lucky. It's just something that you really need to stick by and be motivated with. But yeah, the Sell on Etsy app is really good. You can check the stats of how well your listings have been doing in terms of views, in terms of favourites. You can do really good comparisons as well and see how many views you're getting compared to how many orders, and you can think, okay, these people have viewed my stuff but they haven't bought them. Why is that? It could just be that they found something else that they preferred, which is perfectly fine. But you can also look into, okay, maybe I didn't have enough pictures on there. Was the price a bit too much? Do I need to look over my pricing again? Don't drop your pricing down just to get sales. If you feel like that is what it's worth, if you feel like you're already at the minimum point of your pricing, and if you go any lower you're not going to gain profit, don't change your pricing. Start working on other things. And on the Sell on Etsy app, you can also do shop updates, which is really good. It's basically like posting to Instagram, except you're posting on Etsy, and people that favourite your store and visit your store can see your updates. So say if you have a new product up, you can list it and then post it in your shop updates and say that you have a new product and why you posted it, and it links them to the product and they're more likely to see it. So that's a great one to have a look at. Again, I can do a separate video on the whole Sell on Etsy app if that's something you want, but definitely get that and have a sit down and have a look at everything that it can do, because I think once I got that app, everything changed for me, because I found it a lot easier to always be changing everything on the go, and it does let you change your listings and pictures on there as well, so it's a lot easier. The next thing is reviews. These do come over time. As you get sales, hopefully you end up getting reviews, but there are ways that you can push people to give you reviews. For example, if somebody makes a sale, they instantly get sent an email to say thank you for your order. You can personalise the message that they receive, so you can write your own thank you there and ask them to leave a review, explain to them how important it is, and how much it will help you out. A lot of people do understand that, as I said, they're on Etsy, they know that people are hand making these things and they're all independent people. You can also implement this into your packaging. If you're sending out an order, excited. 1 second. We're good. What was I saying? Oh yeah, packaging. Yeah, you can include little business cards as you send out your packages that just say thank you for ordering from my shop. If you could leave a 5-star review, it would mean a lot to me. I'm only just starting out. Be honest and say you haven't been doing it for very long, or say that you are a small business and the 5-star reviews really do help. I know that when you buy on Etsy, when you go back, it does prompt you to leave a review. So if you just give them that extra little push, they are more likely to. If you find that any of your friends and family have bought from your store to support you, ask them to leave you a review. And the more reviews that you have on there, which will build over time, the more trusting you look. So that is a really good thing that you can start building on. You can also post your good reviews that you do get to Instagram or Pinterest or Facebook to just show people that people are liking your stuff, and it just encourages them to have a look at it and maybe buy it as well. This one isn't so much about the actual Etsy listing. So when you get a sale, you can really start putting effort into your packaging. I know it is important to make sure that the product that you're selling is in good quality, which it is, but you can also put in effort into your packaging as well. Get some tissue paper and print off some business cards that you can get printed for like £10. Get some great packaging things, some confetti, and put that extra little bit of detail into the packaging. People don't always expect it, so when they get their order, they are going to open it and be really surprised and like it, and then obviously that means they're either going to come back to you, they will post it on Instagram for you to then share and say thank you, and they will leave reviews and tell their family and friends. And then as you go, you are going to get more of an audience because people are going to be hearing about you more. I think that's everything I'm going to cover for now. Hopefully it's helped. I do have some questions from people over on Instagram, so I'll read them out now and answer them if I haven't already covered some of the answers already. I just need to find them. Oh man. So the first one I had is, hi, I've created my shop recently and only have 5 products. Do you think it's better to have more products, a variety of the same, different kinds of products, and about having a good description and including tags? Yes. Do they create more visits? Yes. So thank you for your question. So do you think it's better to have more products? Yes. Ideally, you should have a minimum of 20 listings on your store. This is because Etsy starts to see that you have a lot of products on your shop and that you are constantly adding to your shop, so they are more likely to boost you up in the rankings. So yes, if you have them products and you want to put them all on, go for it. Have as many on there as possible. However, if you're just starting out and you only have one thing that you want to put on your shop, don't panic and just put 20 odd random things on there. It is a lot better for you if you're starting out to slowly build your listings rather than just shove everything on at once. It's a lot better for you to slowly build your shop and focus on each listing separately and take the time into each one rather than just put any odd 20 on there and not actually optimise any of them or sell any of them. Take that as a goal and say, okay, by the end of the year I'm going to have 20 products, and look forward to the fact that when you have 20 you're over the minimum that it says. SEO and tags advice, how to find what works. I feel like I've covered that quite a lot, and I will do a separate video I think just on the whole tags and page. But yeah, take the time, as I said, to do that, and at the beginning or end of every month sit down and take a day to actually go through all your listings. Look at what's working, look at what isn't. I won't go over that again because I keep talking about it. I started my Etsy around December last year. I was only able to get 1 sale. I know things take time, but is there any tips on creating more sales? Do you use their ad system? First of all, 1 sale is really good. Well done. Don't look at it as, oh, I only got 1 sale, I should stop, or that's disheartening. Look at that as, well, I've got a sale, people are obviously interested, and there's obviously a market out there. In terms of their ad system, I personally have never used it. I know that they're bringing out this new ad feature where they will pay for all of your ads outside of Etsy, but they take a cut. Catnip on YouTube or Instagram, she has done a video all about it, so go and watch her video. She knows a lot more about it than I do, and she's been doing it a lot longer than me, if you want to know more about their new ad system going on. But in terms of their ads, normally I personally haven't used them. I prefer to spend my money on the Instagram ads, and I prefer to just kind of take the time to naturally grow my Etsy. I feel like they already take a 5% cut, and they do take a 20p listing charge each time, or 20 cents. So I would rather spend my money like on Instagram and just organically change my listings every month and grow them that way. As I said, I'm not like an expert, so maybe I need to look into the ads. Personally, I've never done it. I found that Instagram ads are a lot more helpful, but maybe I need to give Etsy ads a go, I don't know. Sometimes I found it a bit swings and roundabouts with Etsy and their kind of ad system, especially what they're bringing out soon. So I'd rather steer clear of it personally and do it on Instagram and Facebook. But if you've used Etsy ads and you find that it really works, obviously leave a comment. Maybe I could do a video on an Etsy ad and kind of track if it's doing well or not. If that's something you want to see, I could do that. How to get good pictures of your products and upload them. I'm at a complete loss with Etsy but really want to use it. So with the photography, I kind of covered that a little bit earlier. But on taking your photos, a really good tip is go out and get some coloured paper, some wallpaper samples that you can get for free in like housing shops. Use natural lighting. You can also get some foam board as a light reflector, so you don't need a big studio or a big studio box for your pictures. As long as you've got good lighting and a nice background, it's easy enough to do. The next question I have is it hard to get your products noticed on Etsy? Yeah, it can be difficult, just like anything really. When you're starting up a business, it is hard, but you do just need to have that motivation. As long as you put the work in, you will get what it is worth out. So as long as you're passionate about it and you're enjoying it, you're not doing any harm, and eventually you will get noticed and things will start to kind of boost, whether that's really slowly or overnight. It's worth it. What do you find affects listing visibility most, like appearing in searches? Tags, description. The title is something that really helps as well. Just keeping active. It's just like having a physical store. If you're never open, no one's ever going to go in. So you need to make sure that you're just always active on Etsy. Another one I have is I currently sell on my website, and most of that traffic is through Instagram and a bit of Facebook. I wasn't sure whether it was worth setting up an Etsy shop too, but it's so encouraging to hear how many sales you've had. Etsy approached me last week saying they liked my stuff and would like to arrange a phone call. That is really good. If Etsy are calling you, maybe give it a go. If they are wanting you on their website, they obviously think you could do well. See what they have to say. Obviously, if you have your own website already and you're already selling on there and you are enjoying it and you think it's going well, keep pushing your website with Etsy. If you are wanting to join it, go for it. At the end of the day, it is an extra platform that you can be on, as long as you're happy to kind of pay the fee. Obviously they take 5% of your earnings and you pay to kind of have it listed on there. So as long as you're happy with them rates, I say go for it. I think that is all of the questions that kind of haven't repeated themselves. I did have more, but they're all along the same kind of lines. If I didn't answer your question, if I missed it, I'm not sure, feel free to just pop me a message after this and I will either do an Instagram story for it or I will just answer you through DM. If you like this video, make sure to like, comment and subscribe, and yeah, I'm sure I will do more. So if there's anything else you want to know, any other videos you'd like to see, let me know. For now, I'm going to go and have a nice day.